Hello, beautiful humans, and welcome to Tantra Tuesday. I'm Tara Fisher from Embody the Sacred, and what I'm going to cover today is from a dry desert wasteland to a blooming pleasure garden. And I'm so excited to share this topic with you so you can start watering your pleasure garden and watch and feel it bloom. Watch and feel yourself bloom. And what I will be covering is number one, what does it mean to water your pleasure garden? And why is it important? Number two, how do you slip into the dry desert wasteland of intimacy? Number three, what are the benefits to watering your pleasure garden? And 3 tips to start watering your pleasure garden. So let's dive in. Number one, what does it mean to water your pleasure garden? And why is it important? So first, what does water my garden mean to me? So to me, it's taking the time to tend to my intimate life and pleasure. You think about a veggie garden, right? And it needs to be tended to, the weeds need to be pulled, the soil prepped, seeds planted, daily watering. It takes work. It needs to be nurtured. It needs tending to, and it needs your time, energy, and focus. It doesn't happen all by itself. So why is it important? Because intimacy and pleasure help us to thrive in life, in other parts of our life. It helps us to know ourselves and our partner. It gives us space to explore ourselves, each other, and pleasure. It helps us to release all the important happy hormones, which help us to be happier and healthier people. So number two, how you slip into the desert wasteland of dried up intimacy. Well, most people seem to have this expectation that sex, sexy time, desire, arousal, intimacy just happen, right? Like it's Friday night and the weekend is here. You get to bed and it should be magically on. If you're both orgasm at the same time, well, all is well in the world. So, but perhaps in a perfect world, but the last time I checked, things are constantly changing. We're constantly changing. Job pressure, financial pressure, kids, aging, all of the things. And if it doesn't happen like that when you were 20 or when you first met, you start to feel that somehow you're faulty, broken. You may even keep bouncing from relationship to relationship on that constant search for this initial feeling, that hot, passionate, tingly butterfly feeling. Or you may fall into patterns of trying to make arousal happen by using more friction, more toys, a threesome, open relationship, porn, and the list goes on. This puts a lot of pressure and strain on your relationship and each other and yourselves and on the poor genitals, right? You can actually start to find more ways to avoid intimacy altogether. Gets into the too hard basket, right? So number three, what are the benefits to watering your garden? Pleasure, 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 and so many things. A sense of confidence, connectedness, love, stability, fun, growth, a spring in your step and a twinkle in your eye, and you just feel better, happier. You feel a deeper sense of fulfillment, and this love juice seeps into all areas of your life. You feel more creative. You have more creative energy in you. You feel more connected to life. Sound good, too good to be true? It's absolutely not too good to be true. So here are 3 tips to get you out of the desert wasteland and into the juicy garden. So tip number 1, make time and space for intimacy and pleasure. We make time for everything else in our lives: the gym, dinner, yoga, meditation, work, time in nature, whatever floats your boat. Yet intimacy usually doesn't even make it on the list, right? It's that expectation thing. So you need to make time and space not only for pleasure, for intimacy, connection without the pressure of having to have sex. And this will help the body to relax. And when the body is relaxed, we have more access to pleasure. Just putting it on the list or in the calendar can be super sexy in itself. You give it a real sense of importance to yourself and your partner. Intimacy is important. You are important. My connection to you is important. Making and creating time and space to water your intimacy garden, right? And number 2, do new and exciting things together. Take adventures, be in nature. This will help to keep a sense of aliveness in your relationship. Don't get stuck in a rut of all the doing in life, and take time just to be together. And number 3, learn about Tantra and new ways to relate and communicate, new ways to play. Talk about your fears and desires. Allow yourself to both be vulnerable and surprised. We're always learning new things in life, and intimacy and sex are one of those things. Yeah, but we don't often think about it. So start to think about it, spend time, explore, enjoy. So thanks so much for joining me. Remember, great change takes time. Be patient and kind to yourself and each other. So see you next time. Hope you enjoyed the tips.